Hey guys, welcome back to the WisconsEV channel. Thanks for joining me. I've got some big news for you today. It's not earth-shaking, groundbreaking. It's just pretty big news in the world of DC fast charging in Wisconsin and
Charge on, Wisconsin!
all right, sorry to do that to you. It's a tease, right? I worked in news for a long time, and it's annoying sometimes. But anyway, got you still here, hopefully. Big news for Wisconsin and Minnesota. The Kwik Charge network is not just in a single state anymore as of tomorrow morning. The North Branch Kwik Charge location will be open. 45 cents per kilowatt hour seems to be the price. And this is a location that's right off of I-35. It will be a great stop for cars traveling between the Twin Cities and Duluth. It's, I don't remember, 45 minutes or so, maybe 35 minutes outside of kind of the 694 ring. Somebody else can correct me in the comments below if I'm way off. It was closer than I thought when I drove up there. I was up there in January when I did all of my IANA videos that we've had on the last couple weeks, and it wasn't ready yet. They hadn't even gone through, everything was installed, but they hadn't gone through all of their testing and meeting with the MnDOT officials and getting everything situated so that that NEVI site can be activated. That was January. Now they've gone through all those tests. They've gotten passed by the State Department of Transportation, and it is ready to go. You've probably seen it on the app if you're a nerd like me and wondering, scrolling, oh, when is this opening? It's been on there for a couple of weeks. We've got the 10 sites in Wisconsin that are all live, and 5 more soon to come, I think, in this state. Maybe, hopefully sooner rather than a little bit later. I'm pretty sure they're coming soon. No specific dates to share, except for North Branch, which is opening tomorrow. There are 10 Kwik Charge open currently, as of right now at 4 o'clock on Wednesday or Thursday, February 12th. But as of February 13th, we will have 11. One of them will be in Minnesota, which is just kind of exciting because obviously Kwik Charge in Wisconsin has been important with right now 10 open. But when you're crossing over a border, however you get over there, across the river, you know, through the woods, whatever, that's kind of changing the landscape. I'm not saying that Kwik Charge is IANA or Electrify America or Tesla, but in the smaller area, they're pretty big and they're going to be getting bigger. In Wisconsin, Electrify America has 8 stations. Kwik Charge has 10 right now. They're not exactly equal when you look nationally, but just inside Wisconsin, I think Electrify America and Kwik Charge are competitors and are equals, not direct competitors, right? Because they're not right next to each other. Soon, maybe in Howard / Green Bay, but as of now, they're kind of located separate and they don't directly compete where you would choose one over the other. But 10 sites versus 8 sites for a national brand is, you know, they've kind of moved ahead of them. Tesla has in the mid-30s stations, 38 maybe. Some of those are Tesla-only locations. But anyway, they've got a huge network. That's on a different level than Kwik Charge right now. But when you're just talking about in Wisconsin, 10 is good. 15 shortly will be even better, right? So that's one state. Once you add, you go over to Minnesota and you add in the one in North Branch that's opening tomorrow. I would almost say it's bigger in a symbolic way right now than it is kind of expanding the map. Now, good if you're, I think North Branch is near St. Croix Falls. It's kind of along that way. There's not much charging up there, and there's certainly not enough in Minnesota going north to between the Twin Cities and Duluth. So this station will be big. I think making it a two-state, multi-state operation is kind of the bigger deal. And then, let's see this year where they're able to build out. Very shortly they'll have two, but they're really pretty close together where you may not need to make multiple stops at these two quick charges. Forest Lake and North Branch are too many thoughts going around. They're probably 30 minutes away from each other, 25 maybe. So it's not spaced out so you would want to go multiple stops, but there's having more stations. I am always currently for having more stations. I think in a few years, if the pace continues, it's going to get to the point where where it'll be tipping the other way, where these things some of them aren't being used and some of them are going to close. So, but anyway, we're not there yet. So keep building, chug, chug, chug. Let's go. Let's get them turned on yesterday. I think that the bigger thing is that we're going to multiple states, right? In some point in the future, maybe they'll get into Iowa once their NEVI program kind of gets chugging along at a higher pace. I have heard that it's inching its way towards getting things started. Wisconsin, it has been further ahead than Minnesota, and then Minnesota has been kind of further ahead of Iowa. Minnesota's now got two stations in the NEVI program that will turn on. This Kwik Charge in North Branch will be number 2. The first one in Burnsville, Francis Energy site, has been live for a month. I think it went after the first of the year, but you'd have to check exactly. But anyway, it's at a hotel. Another Francis location up in this area of the country. So what are you going to see when you pull into the parking lot there at the Kwik Trip in North Branch? Well, it's going to look like most of the other Kwik Charge locations. One side has some gas pumps. They've got some diesel pumps in the back, and right out front they've got some SK Signet 400 kilowatt capable chargers. Very similar site to almost all of the other locations in the network so far. Obviously, Lake Delton's a little bit different. Pleasant Prairie is a little bit different. Fond du Lac even maybe a little bit different, just because of the way you have to back in and back out, or drive in and drive out, kind of in the main flow of traffic. But anyway, this one is kind of right out front. You can't miss it, that's for sure. It's not hidden in the back in the dark. It is right out front. So great location. 4 SK Signet machines, 2 offset in the parking spots, so you can, each side of the 2 chargers is for one of them to be used, right? So you've got 2 cables, 1 CCS, 1 NACS. Only one of them can be used on that charger at a time. I know that's annoying to some people because of the way that they've parked, and like only the CCS cable will reach, but somebody is using the NACS cable on the other side. Dealt with that myself a few weeks ago at Kwik Charge down in Mount Horeb. But just so you know, that's how it works. So the 4 parking spots, there's accessibility options. So, there's signage there, so you don't necessarily use that one when you have other options. CCS cables are on the left of the machine, NACS are on the right. You've got 4 options. The transformer is 750 kVA, which is the same as basically all of the other locations. So you're going to get the same amount of power. You're guaranteed, each machine will put out 400 kilowatts, right? Let's talk about that. But if you have more than one car charging, that's when it starts, bringing things down into balance, because it's only capable of outputting 600 kilowatts total for the site. So if you've got a huge Silverado pickup that's just dragging electrons in the upper 300s, and then somebody pulls in and parks next to them and starts trying to charge a Chevy Bolt, well, that's not a big deal, right? That's only 50 kilowatts for the older models. I haven't seen one of the new ones yet. But then you've got a Kia EV6 that pulls in next to the Bolt and wants to pull a couple hundred there. Well, now you're going to hit that 200 cap, right? Or a 600 cap. So it'll kind of manage everything because the whole site can only put out 600. So at 4, when you're using all 4 of the machines, they can each get 150 cleared, right? So, hey, for my car, that'd be fine. That's basically full power. But other cars, certainly that's not. So in a crowded location, hopefully North Branch has got 4 cars and maybe a line waiting out towards the car wash. But, in a crowded situation, each of the ports is guaranteed 150 kilowatts. Nobody else is there. You've got a huge battery and can pull that. You can take up to 400 on one machine. So now that we're going to multi-state, I may have to update my huge everything you need to know about Kwik Charge video. I did mention the 2 Minnesota sites, but at that point when I was recording that, they were in kind of a different level because they really got that North Branch site working in the middle of winter in Minnesota. So it was pretty awesome to see, and then it quickly came together. And Forest Lake is also pretty much the same, where they started it in winter and had to warm, defrost, heat up concrete, use a special mix to make sure it was going in the winter. Whatever they had to do, the skilled tradesmen did a great job to get everything going in the cold of a Minnesota winter. So congratulations to Kwik Trip. I am excited to get back up there, plug in this time. Just did a little sightseeing up there before, but which is the stuff that you've seen, obviously. But looking forward to my next trip up to Minnesota, to a little detour up I-35, and yeah, we'll charge up there. And looking forward to hitting the other stations in Wisconsin that will be opening soon too, including Cameron, Hixton, Plover, Richfield, and Marinette. Those are your kind of next 5 on the scorecard for Wisconsin to be watching. And then heck, once they start their spring construction season, who knows where else we're going to get going. All right, so get the lineup started tomorrow morning in North Branch. I'm going to be checking PlugShare to see what people are reporting, see how many emails I get with some pictures from the location as well. So for all you guys up there, Box Turtle, etc. on PlugShare, have at it. Tomorrow's your day. Bring a little piece of little celebration up to the Minnesota I-35 corridor. So thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next charge.
All around the world, it's one unique, one special.